What's up, everybody? I can see you dancing. Come on. In the wee hours of the night. Here we go. That's what I'm talking about. Some new bumper music there for you. Get the trivia question started. Once again in the wee hours of the night on the graveyard shift. This is Michael. Where the coffee pot is always on, always full. And if we happen to run out, then we'll just make more. All right, let's get to it, folks. Happy Tuesday. I'm here for a couple more days in the North Hill. I'm over by the airport, actually. I forgot where I was. I worked in Cary this weekend. Now I'm over by the airport, and I will be in North Hills from this point forward after Thursday or Friday or something to that effect. I don't know. I rove a lot. I've been moving, but I'm gonna settle down here in a little bit. I'll have more details on that later. I digress. The answer to the previous trivia question was none other than the bullpen, known in baseball as the bullpen. And not as we know it today, but previously in the late 19th century, latecomers to baseball games were cordoned off into standing room only areas in foul territory. This was crazy, folks, the way they used to do this. They used to just kind of herd them in there like cattle, if you will. And this is how they got the name bullpen. Bullpens were located on the field of play, right there where everybody else was on the field, on the actual field in foul territory, straight down the line from each team's dugout. Now, often separated by the field of play, but nothing more than a rope at times. And if you were lucky, sometimes they didn't even have a rope, right? Sometimes they just made their own little barrier. And often, if there was a rope there, the rope would simply be moved to expand the capacity of the bullpen and, of course, lessen the capacity of the field, right? Or vice versa, especially if the bullpen was full of the opposing home team's fans, right? They'd move that rope right on up and lessen the playing field or expand the foul area, etc. Things along those lines. The earliest recorded use of the word bullpen as it pertains to baseball was in a Cincinnati Enquirer article published on May 7th of 1887. And that, of course, say it with me, was the focus of the trivia question. Now, this was from a writer named O.P. Kaler, and he noted in his editorial in a game recap, quote, the bullpen at the Cincinnati grounds with its 3 4/4 crowd has lost its usefulness, unquote. Wasn't very favorable, right? He didn't look at these groups of people, these hordes of people on the sidelines, if you will, in a very favorable light. Now, over time, and as baseball advanced in its rules and its regulations and became a little bit more professional and so forth, this side location of sorts where the bullpen, the peanut gallery really would hang out, that fell out of favor as people were in obvious danger, right, and exposed to being hit by line drive fouls or even stray practice pitches, right? In other words, they were in the doggone way. They needed to move. They needed to find a place for these people and for the bullpen in general. They tell these people to go to the stands, for goodness sakes. Now, around the turn of the century, the word bullpen would eventually not contain any fans whatsoever, probably a good thing. And it would be designated as the location where relief pitchers would warm up. And this was moved way out of play behind the outfield, just behind the outfield fences, where most bullpens are located to this day. Now, all the relief pitchers usually are located in the bullpen, way out in the outfield, if they have not yet played in the game, rather than hanging out with everybody else in the dugout. It's kind of like a special little club back there, right? Special access only area, right? For just pitchers. The starting pitcher before the first pitch also makes their final pregame warm-up throws in the bullpen, right? So the bullpen I don't know which team it was. I can't remember. Was recently in the news where a fan actually fell into the bullpen. I don't know if you saw that or not. I saw news footage of that. He fell like 1 or 2 stories from the top into the bullpen. They had to like take him out on a stretcher. So now people are getting injured falling into the bullpen. Now these days, managers can call coaches or pitchers in the bullpen on an in-house telephone. You've probably seen this before. When the current pitcher in play is not doing too well, the manager will get on the phone and say, "Hey, I need a replacement, please, fast. Get somebody from the bullpen out here." And they'll use an in-house telephone from the dugout to tell a certain pitcher to begin their warm-up tosses. In some parks and organizations, pitchers can also hitch a ride in a golf cart to the pitcher's mound. I put "not cool" down there in parentheses. I just don't think that's. I think that the pitcher should have to walk or run to the mound from the bullpen. I don't think they should get a free ride, like a little escort. No, come on now. Part of baseball is hustling, and if you're called from the bullpen to replace the current pitcher, you need to run out there, make it happen. Now, the makeup of the bullpen usually consists of 2 pitching rubbers and plates at regulation distance from each other so they can practice accordingly. A couple of cool geek factoids about the bullpen. The word bullpen, as it pertains to baseball, in that meaning, is in the Oxford English Dictionary. So you know how every year we recognize new words and so forth. The bullpen, at some point in time, probably the turn of the century, like I referenced before, as far as the history goes, made it into our dictionary. A team's roster of relief pitchers is also referred to as the bullpen roster. Some places have the bullpen area designated for high-class club seats. I found a picture. I don't know if I got it in there or not, but the Washington Nationals is a good example. As I studied that in some of my research, that particular bullpen club, if you will, surfaced in my research. It is fancy stuff, folks, and not a bad idea, really, when you think about it. When it comes to park and organization and stadium management, it's a really good idea. Drop you some money and get you a bullpen club seat out there in the outfield. See if you can catch a foul ball or a home run, for that matter. All right, folks, we survived Monday. Off we go, running into a brand new week. Like I said before, happy Tuesday, folks, for a brand new trivia question for May 9th. Here we go. On this day, in 1950, a man named Lafayette Ronald Hubbard publishes a psychological self-help book of sorts called This, which quickly caught fire and over time morphed into a belief system called Scientology. What was that book that started it all? Good luck, folks. Have a terrific Tuesday. I love you guys. Thanks for all you do. Peace out.